to OATS UNCUT, Orator Academy Talks Uncut. We are unscripted, unfiltered, raw, candid, honest conversations. Why? Because life is easier, simpler, and organic that way, right? And organic is good for health. So keeping our mental and physical health in mind, coming to you all organic. All right, so a beautiful poem by Robert Frost that I had heard of, but I'd forgotten about. And then I got to revisit when I read a book. So what book it is, who wrote it? Let's just take a few steps back and introduce you to my guest today, a very special one, Vihan. Vihan, welcome to OATS UNCUT.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I've been waiting to do this for a very long time. Finally, I get the opportunity to talk to you. So, Vihan actually wrote that book, I think in your early 20s or in your late teens, which the book is called What's Your Plus? So again, the title I thought was very intriguing, What's Your Plus? And it started with that poem, Robert Frost's, when he says, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So the title of What's Your Plus and then poem in the beginning, what was your mindset? Why did you write that book? How do you feel about it?
So, I wrote What's Your Plus when I was in my early 20s. I started writing it during senior year of college and then finished it my first year after graduation. And the reason I include that poem in the book, in the beginning of the book, is because I talk about, maybe going on a slightly non-traditional path. And the book centers around things you can do while you're in college to make yourself stand out from all your classmates.
Life habits, like that? Is that what it talks about?
It talks about how to make the most of your college experience and also maximizing life habits and work habits.
Right. So because I read that book so many years ago, and that was my recollection that it was about certain life habits also.
Right.
So now, how did this idea come about to you to write a book? And by the way, where is the book? Is still selling?
Yes, the book is available on Amazon in both paperback and ebook format.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What about audio?
There's no audiobook version of it.
Shall I record one?
Maybe someday.
Please hire me. I would love to, because that's a road that I have not explored yet, and I'd love to. It always intrigues me when I listen to an audiobook, because I think it's phenomenal, the talent of the narrator, how beautifully, especially if it's a fiction, then they're just enacting so many different characters and that one person changing voices, and it just blows my mind. So if you ever think of converting it into an audiobook, please do consider.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So what's your plus? So it's also about exploring your multi-dimensional personality, or not to restrict yourself in one particular profile, explore more about yourself. Is that what you were also leaning towards?
Yeah, it's definitely about exploring deeper within yourself. What is it that you want to do in life? Where is it that you want to be, and how can you make yourself stand out to reach that place?
Right. You were writing blogs prior to you wrote the book, right?
That's right.
So you really enjoyed writing, or you still do?
I don't find as much time these days to write blogs and publish them, but I still enjoy writing. Sometimes I do a little bit of journaling just for myself.
Okay, you do journal. And you think journaling is... A lot of people recommend journaling because it's also good for one's mental health. So do you do it with that mindset, or you just do it just to put thoughts down on paper?
I do it for the mental health, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Because I know some people journal events, and also, so it's both. It's events as well as unloading your
right.
emotional rigmarole, whatever. And then I feel that the journal is almost as good as a book if you were to stitch it together, right?
Right.
Interesting. Does one need to be patient to write a book? Because I've been playing with the idea but never had the actual courage to pursue it.
You definitely need to be patient. You have to find the time to work on it. It's a much less daunting task if you do it piece by piece and set goals and deadlines for yourself.
Like anything else in life, I would say.
Right.
So what do you think about authoring in times of Chat GPT and AI? I mean, AI is typically doing everything. People are writing emails using AI and everything. I can tell most of the posts written are by AI too. I can almost identify now, especially if I know the person and I know their writing style. I can tell it's not them writing. So, do you think that artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT and whatever others might be are going to take over these skills from us, and authoring will also become outsourced to those tools? Or you think people will still write genuinely, honestly?
I think there'll always be people who will write, and maybe AI will get to that point someday where it can take over. But for now, I think that what we get from AI is it can help us with ideas. It can help us sequence those ideas. But I often find that even if I'm getting help from AI for an idea for a post or help with writing an email, I'm still going back and rewriting what ChatGPT has written for 2-3 times.
Right. So it's interesting actually. So ChatGPT, a lot of people are using ChatGPT just generally, right, for any kind of answers they're seeking. And I had actually a mother call me about my courses, and she said, I tend to ask, where did you find me, right? How did you find about me and about Orator Academy? And she said, believe it or not, ChatGPT. She said, I don't trust Google anymore. I pay for ChatGPT, and that's where you showed up. So thank you, ChatGPT. I tend to like you already. Awesome. So authoring will still continue. Humans, we will still continue to have faith in our own brains and grey stuff.
And even on the free version of ChatGPT or any other AI software, there's still a long way to go. I've heard from college students in today's era who, they'll all say that ChatGPT and all these AIs won't give them all the correct answers on an exam. And I've even heard that sometimes, one AI will give you one answer and a different AI will give you a different answer. So there's still some work to be done.
Do you still write besides journaling?
I still write when I can.
So are you blogging, or are you considering writing another book?
Been trying to find the time to get back into blogging.
Okay. So what's keeping you busy these days?
I just finished a course to become a paralegal.
Okay.
So that was taking up some time.
Okay.
And on the side of that, I've also been running a film festival for several years.
Tell us about that.
The year that I started writing the book, I was a senior in college, and that same year I also decided to start my own film festival. I had been working in the film industry for a couple of years since I was in high school, and I had worked at several film festivals in the area and decided to start my own because I felt that film festivals don't give enough attention to younger, newer amateur filmmakers, and we really need to spotlight their work and encourage them to continue making films.
Okay, and you've been doing it for how many years now?
This year will be the 7th year.
Wow, 7 years, and you're doing it all on your own. That's a daunting task, isn't it?
Yes.
So you do it what? You do it in person or virtual or hybrid? How do you do it?
So I started doing it in person, and then for 2 years during COVID, I didn't want to stop doing it, so did it completely virtually. And after that, I went back to doing it in person, but now I do hybrid. You know, I do one day at the movie theater and I do an entire month virtually.
That's amazing. And you find it satisfying and gratifying to be able to give amateur filmmakers a platform?
Definitely. I've seen how it's grown, and you know, people are responding positively.
So that is the road less traveled, I would say also, right? What is the film festival called?
Visionaries Film Festival.
Is there a website?
Yes, visionariesfilmfestival.com.
Okay, so simple. Visionaries Film Festival. There's no the before.
No.
Okay, so visionariesfilmfestival.com. And are you also on social media that hopefully people can follow?
Yes, also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn and
Okay.
YouTube.
When is it scheduled? When is it held, this festival?
It happens every year in September. This year it will take place on September 20th.
Okay, and how did you think of doing this film festival? I mean, 7 years is a really long commitment so far. No 7-year rich, by the way. No 7
No.
I'm sorry. I know that's a silly joke, but hey, what is life without levity? How did you get started on this? I mean, had you any kind of experience?
So, like I said before, I had some experience working in the film and TV production industry. Some freelance gigs that I had while I was in school. And just looking to get a foot in the door, I started working with some local film festivals. And I found that to be really intriguing. And that's where I found this little gap that I wanted to fill.
That's amazing. And do you think it gets enough attention and support, or do you think people still need to give more support than it is getting right now?
Could definitely use more support. I think it's been a little bit of a struggle to get the word out there to people.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that, and it's been growing significantly year after year.
But I have to say that, the consistency in your commitment is quite commendable. It's quite commendable. To be taking charge of something independently is no easy feat. So, I mean, and you've been doing it year after year, and it still hasn't reached, like, that's what I'm hearing from you. It hasn't reached where you want it to be. How big do you want this to be? I mean, when you think of the film festivals around us, which is the film festival that you think, oh, one day I want Visionaries to be at that level?
Realistically, I would say something like the size of the Tribeca Film Festival.
Ooh, okay.
Uh,
That's huge.
That's pretty big. I mean, I didn't go for something bigger like, the Sundance Film Festival is the biggest one in the U.S., or like the Toronto International Film Festival is the biggest in North America, or the Cannes Film Festival is the biggest in the world. Not.
Oh, that's right. Cannes is also a film festival.
Yes.
Oh, so maybe one day Visionaries will have a red carpet and people will come in their fancy flowy outfits, and wow, that's an interesting vision that I'm getting right now. Okay, so what kind of movies do you showcase in this?
Because they're all like young amateur filmmakers, a lot of them are students or recent graduates.
Okay,
So-
but is the material, the content good enough?
Yeah, a lot of them are very talented.
Of course.
They've won various awards at different places for their work.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of short films. So usually the bulk of it is short films with one or two feature-length films that are shown.
Okay. And do you invite other guests to come and speak at these events? I mean, what else happens besides screening movies?
So besides screening movies, it's an opportunity for filmmakers, actors, anybody involved, and film enthusiasts to all meet each other, network. It's nothing like cons, but we have a red carpet where people dress up and take photos.
That is cool. That is cool. Awesome. Wonderful. But you didn't want to make a movie yourself. You're happy showcasing other people's, and you like that aspect of filmmaking being able to showcase.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, interesting, very interesting. That is something I have no knowledge of except from what I hear from you. But it's fascinating. It's fascinating. But you felt the need because you felt there wasn't one like this.
Right.
I hope, well, I hope it grows. And that is definitely a road less traveled. And I hope that now that you've taken that road, I hope that makes all the difference.
I hope so too.
What else would you like to share about you or life in general? Anything else you'd like to talk about, Vihan, before I let you go?
I would say that I also, I find the time to volunteer when I can as well. That it's always important to give back to the community however you can.
How do you volunteer?
So, growing up, I was a Boy Scout.
That's right. You are an Eagle Scout.
Yes.
My God. So I was at an Eagle Scout ceremony recently of another boy because I got a mentor pin.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I got a mentor pin. And it was so heartwarming. So at that ceremony, one of the gentlemen who came to give the certificate, he from American Legion, he actually said, you don't realize the value of this pin. So whenever you go for a job interview or wherever formal event, make sure you're wearing your pin because you don't know who's going to notice that pin and be impressed because that says a lot about you. That shows perseverance. That shows strength of character, physical, emotional, both, right?
Right.
You did Eagle, my God.
Yes.
Wow. So, yeah, actually, when I got to learn about the Eagle journey, my first thought was that journey is so beautiful and so commonsensical. It makes so much common sense for every human being to know how to do those things, to be a better citizen of the world also, I think.
Yeah.
Better community members. Do you think you got that thought of giving back to the community from your scout journey?
I think so. They do promote community service.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody who becomes an Eagle Scout, there's a service project, an Eagle project that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to plan, organize, and facilitate. And obviously, you get all your troop members to help you with the facilitation part, but the planning and supervising and figuring out where the funds come from is all on you. And so doing that yourself and also going and helping with other scouts in their Eagle projects, creates
Community building. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think I remember your Eagle project. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so for my Eagle project, I noticed that there's a patch of woods close to our middle school where, in my hometown, where a lot of kids were crossing to get to and from school, between all the bushes and the trees and the plants, whatever is there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to create a footpath that goes through there.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's about 250 feet long.
Wow. That's quite something. That is quite something. And is the path still being used? And
Yeah, the path is still being used today. People loved it so much, the township actually took the path that I had created and eventually put together the funds to pave it into a permanent pathway.
that's amazing. That's amazing. That's quite a commendable service. That's quite a commendable service. I mean, that's quite a legacy that
Right.
you've created. Well, Vihan, all I can say is it's been such a pleasure talking to you. Your life is inspiring. You have taken the road less traveled, but I hope that road takes you to your destination of your choice and destination that will satisfy you as your career choice and path and culmination of your dreams and aspirations.
I think it will.
I love that. If only we all kept that positivity, life would be a much happier place. It's as simple as that. Keep a positive attitude. Don't give in to any kind of self-doubt. Focus on what you want to be, where you want to get, and just keep walking one step at a time. Left in front of right and right in front of left. Right, Vihan?
Yes.
So, If you have the courage to take the road less traveled, stick to it. You will get to your destination of your dreams. Don't give up. Thanks again for tuning in to OATS Uncut. Thank you, Vihan, for your time. It
Thank
has
you
been
for
a
having me.
pleasure talking to you, finally. And I'm also very happy to do it outdoors now that the weather is better here in my part of the world. So this is great. And not the same brick wall behind
Beautiful.
me. It is beautiful. It is absolutely stunning. And you get to appreciate Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Stay tuned. Stay well. Stay safe. Remember to love and to laugh. And have a blast. We shall meet again soon. Till then.